Hey everyone, thank you for clicking on this if you did. I hope you like it. If you do, please like, subscribe, and comment below. So, this review is for another USA show, and it was requested by my dad. He was wondering when I was going to start doing these series. I did Psych earlier on my channel, and that's on my channel, that review of that show, which premiered in like 2006. So now that I got through all the Law and Order shows, I'm gonna do all the USA shows that I watched. These were released early 2000s to mid 2010s, and the latest that I watched ended in like 2019, from what I just looked up. So I did Psych already, which premiered in 2006. This one is for the next one that premiered. Has nothing to do with Psych. These were just all on the USA Network during their, I would say, their main TV prime era, where they made a lot of good shows, where they cared about the characters, the writing, the story, and the actors just in every show just had awesome chemistry. Sorry, so this one is for Burn Notice. This was on for 7 seasons. It premiered in 2007. It stars Jeffrey Donovan, who I didn't know at the time, but you may have seen him in some other things. If you watched the reboot of Law and Order when it came back, not really the reboot, but like the restart, he was in seasons 21 and 22. But Jeffrey Donovan was in this, and he's fantastic. His character name is Mike Weston, and it also has Gabriella Anwar and Bruce Campbell. And if you've watched movies and TV shows for a while, you've seen Bruce Campbell, and he's awesome in this. So I'm just going to go off by the intro of the second episode, because obviously the pilot doesn't have an intro, because they got to set it up. But pretty much the intro is, my name is Michael Weston. I used to be a spy, and then they use footage. He's on his cell phone. We got a burn notice on you. You're blacklisted. When you're a spy, you don't get fired. They burn you. Pretty much, you have no job history, no cash, no ID whatsoever. It's wherever they decide to dump you in. And this show takes place in Miami, Florida. So the show is about Michael getting burned, and he has no idea why, i.e., fired from the CIA, I think he was working for. And in the 7 seasons, he has to figure out who burned him, why they burned him, and what's going on. And in the meantime, to make money, because he no longer has a job with the CIA, he does odd jobs here and there. He helps people. And in doing so, Jeffrey Donovan, aka Mike Weston, takes on different personas, and he does it very well. Like, he plays a hillbilly, he plays a gangster, he does all these different accents, and he does it very well. The show is very intriguing. It hooks you from the very start with the pilot. It has comedy, it has good action, it has fantastic drama, and all the actors, their chemistry. I think I mentioned this in my Psych review. I would have to rewatch it to see what I said, but when it came to the USA shows, especially during this time when when they were in their era, where they were just putting show after show out year after year, especially after Psych, they started once a year putting out a new show. the actors, the story, it all clicked. Every story, every show is different, but all the actors, all the chemistry. This was TV at its peak. The actors, the chemistry, you feel it. You feel their connection. You see that these that they chose the actors and these for these roles and they did it well. Like the the characters are well written, they're well acted. Everyone just blends well together in this show and all the other USA shows that I will be reviewing soon. If you like dramas, if you like spy stuff, if you like people taking on different personas and just having a fun time, check this out. It is streaming on Hulu. You might be able to find it anywhere, somewhere else. The complete series is out on DVD because this was season 6. I just chose this because it had the 3 mains on it. But I do have the complete series. All 7 seasons are out on DVD. It is well worth your time. Not all the seasons are 22 episodes long because during the USA shows, they mostly ran like at different time periods. So it was weird. Like sometimes the shows were summer based. Like I'll get into like Psych was mostly summer based. Another show I'll talk about, which I think is the next show I'll talk about, which is Royal Pains, was definitely summer based. So all the episodes, all the seasons ran during the summer, which I always liked because usually there wasn't anything on during the summer. You would have the fall stuff from September, October to May. Obviously, they would take breaks here and there, and then you would have nothing after May once the shows had their season finales. But during this time period, like 2006 to like 2019, when one of the USA shows I'll talk about later ended, they ran episodes during the summer. So it made this time period really, really fun. This show is so much fun. It has great writing. The chemistry between the cast and all the USA shows is on par when they actually cared about that stuff. And they tell a great story. You're hooked from start to finish. And I highly, highly recommend this show. Everyone did a great job on it. And it is well worth your time if you decide to watch it. I guarantee you will laugh, you will cry, you will enjoy every second of it. That is all I got for you today. I hope you liked this. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe below. With commenting, did you ever watch Burn Notice? Or any of the other USA shows? There were a good chunk between like 2003, 2004 when Monk premiered, which I will not be reviewing. My dad got into that. I did not. I watched a few episodes here and there to kind of connect with my dad, but I didn't watch it from start to finish. So I don't feel like reviewing that since I never actually watched it in full. I feel that would be a disrespect to that show and to the people who made that show. But once USA started cranking out shows, it's like a side company almost of NBC, but they cared about the characters, the writing. Every show they pretty much cranked out was super strong, and you had great actors in all of them. I highly recommend Burn Notice. Let me know if you ever watched it when it was on, or if you found it later. What did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? And let me know if you watched any other of the USA shows that were on between like that premiered between like 2003, 2004, and like I think the last one premiered in like 2013, 2014. I could be wrong about that, but there was like an era where USA just clicked, and this was and Burn Notice was part of that era, and it was fun. Those years were fun, and I am gonna get into that now. This is my second review. My review of Psych is on my channel already. Please check that out. And let me know if you watched any of the USA shows during their like prime peak TV era. If you did, let me know. I will be reviewing the next show that was released on USA, Royal Pains, in the next few days or so. Thank you. I hope you liked this review. If you did, please comment, like, and subscribe below. I will see you later.